Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Pharmacypedia. This is Dr. Shikhar Chauhan and in this session we are going to learn about the solubility and solubility expressions. The topic has been taken from the subject Physical Pharmaceutics 1, Unit 1. So let us try to understand the solubility and the solubility expressions. So before initiating the lesson, if you're visiting my channel for the first time, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel Pharmacypedia for getting further updates. So talking about the solubility. So what is a solution? A solution is a mixture of one or two components in a solvent. So what is solute? Solute is present in less amount and the solvent is present in the larger amount. So when the solute get dissolved in the solvent and we get a homogeneous mixture, we call it a solution. So when we have to determine the solubility of solute in the solvent, we can do it by two ways. The first is the quantitative estimation and second is the qualitative estimation. So quantitative estimation means we are calculating the amount of the solute which goes into the solvent by measuring the total amount of the solute. Qualitatively, we are visualizing it without going for the actual figures or the values. So different substances which exist in the nature have different solubilities. There are the solute sometimes get dissolved in the solvent, completely dissolved in the solvent. Then we call it and we are not able to visualize the solute in it. But there are substances which are completely insoluble in the solvents. So they are totally insolvent and in some cases we have the solubility to a limited extent. So we get saturated solutions once we keep on adding the solute and it goes into the solution. But there comes a point at a specific temperature where no more solute can be dissolved into the solvent and we call it a saturated solubility. Now, when we talk about the qualitative and the quantitative estimations, we need to understand how much amount of the solute actually goes into the solution and get disappears. Yes, we say only solution when the solute is no more visible as a separate entity. It is completely solubilized into the solution. So the concentration of a substance of the solute which dissolves in a given volume of a solvent. So the volume has to be specified at a specific temperature to form a homogeneous solution. So this is the quantitative estimation of the solubility where you are calculating the amount of the solute which goes inside the solvent to form the solution. The amount which is present in the less amount is called as solute and the vehicle in which the solute is being allowed to disperse is known as the solvent. So always remember the rule that solvent is present in the large amount and solute is present in the low amount. When we talk about the qualitative estimation, by the visualization, by various other techniques, we can see the solubility, we can check the solubility. So the spontaneous interaction of the two or more substances to form a homogeneous molecular dispersion is known as solubility, and we can even calculate it by qualitative estimations. There are various ways by which we can express the solubility. My dear students, it is very important to note that how does the solute enter into the solvent. So the solvent molecules breaks down and the solute molecules occupies the space into the lattice structure of the solvent, and then once this is over, then solute gets entrapped into the structure of the solvent and it is no more visible. But there are certain solvents, again solvents can be classified into different types. For example, polar solvents, for example non-polar solvents and semi-polar solvents. So it has been found generally that polar solutes dissolve into the polar solvents, non-polar solutes dissolve into the non-polar solvents. So this theory is referred to as like dissolves the like theory. So solubility can only be achieved when the solute and solvent is interacted. So when solute solvent forces are more powerful than the solute solute or the solvent solvent forces, we are going to achieve a homogeneous solution. Again, this is very important. So when we talk about the qualitative expression, expression means to figure out how much extent the solubility has been done. Now the term solubility expression simply means by what ways, by which techniques you can come to know that solubility has happened and to how much extent, how you can measure the solubility. If I give you 4 or 5 solutes with a common solvents, you are going to tell me which is going to have a better solubility. So this process of comparison, this process of estimation of the solubility can be carried out by either qualitative techniques or quantitative techniques. So qualitative techniques related to solubility includes its visual appearance, whether it is insoluble, whether it is slightly soluble, whether it is completely soluble or very soluble. So it depends on the amount of the solute which interacts, which goes and disappears in the solvent to form the solution. Other forms of comparative terms for the qualitative estimation includes dilute solutions, concentrated solutions, miscible, immiscible, partially miscible, and these are the various visual ways by which without estimation you can judge whether the solubility has taken place or not. Other ways of the solubility expression by the quantitative techniques include by calculating the amount of the solute which actually goes into the solvent to form the solution. So by measuring the concentration, by measuring the actual amount of the solute which gets dissolved into a particular amount of the solvent at a specific temperature. My dear students, temperature here plays a very important role because in the case of the solids and liquid, as the temperature increases, the solubility increases. Whereas for the gases, solubility decreases as the temperature increases. So in this table, you can see by the quantitative estimations as well as the qualitative estimation, the solubility can be expressed. So let us go first ahead by the quantitative techniques, which whereby it is being used to express the solubility. So expression of solubility means comparison of the solubility, how much amount and estimation of the how much amount of the solute goes into the solvent. So there are various techniques. The first is by the USP expression. So USP methods, there are certain methods whereby you can calculate out the solubility, but you taking help of the techniques like molar solution, molal solution, mole fraction, percent by weight, percent weight by volume. Next, talking about the qualitative techniques includes using the terms like very soluble. So if the same amount of the solute is being dissolved in less amount of the solvent, then it is very soluble. So a very soluble means simply you don't have to take that extra effort to get it solubilized. When you are adding the solute to the solvent, it is immediately solubilized, it immediately disappears. Freely soluble means it is having good solubility. Solubles, when you're stirring the solute and then it is going into the solution, that means it is soluble into the solvent. Sparingly soluble means you are either doing some efforts, you are stirring for some time to get it solubilized. Similarly, slightly soluble means not generally soluble. Very slightly soluble means it is getting solubilized but to a limited extent. So similarly, insoluble substances. So these are the various ways by which we express the solubility of the solutes in the solvents by while preparing the solutions. Now, this is the term which is being mentioned as a solubility definitions in the United States Pharmacopoeia. So, we take the terms like very soluble. So, if the solvent is when we try to dissolve the solute and it gets dissolved in parts of the solvent required for one part of the solute is less than 1, then we say that the substance is having very high solubility. So if the parts, it depends in how many parts of the solvent is required for one part of the solute. So if it is less than 1, we call the substance as very soluble. We say the substance as solute as freely soluble when the parts of the solvent which is required for dissolving one part of the solute ranges from 1 to 10. So accordingly, when we say the substance soluble, when the parts required is 10 to 30. So you can see as the parts increases, the solubility decreases. So you can say solute solvent interaction is also directly proportional to the solubility. As the solute solvent interaction is more, the solubility will be high. So we always measure and compares the solubility of different solutes in a fixed amount of the solvent at a specific temperature by measuring how much part of the solvent is required to dissolve one part of the solute. So by adopting this technique, we can simply know that how is the solubility of different substance. We can actually compare the solubilities using this USP definitions. Now, what are the factors which influences solubility? Now, as I have told, it depends on number of factors like temperature. Solubility is always measured at a specific temperature. So, if the temperature increases for the solids and liquids, the solubility increases. But in the case of the gases, the solubility decreases. Similarly, it depends on the nature of the solvent. For example, like dissolves like. As I told you, polar solutes get dissolved into the polar solvents. Non-polar solutes get dissolved into the non-polar solvents. Then it also depends on the pressure, pH, particle size. So finer the particle size, better is the solubility. Crystal structures, amorphous structures, since they lack the lattice arrangement, they get solubilized very fast. Then molecular structure, solute solvent interactions. If the solute solvent interactions have strong forces like covalent bonds, they are having the more stability. Then addition of the substituents, it talks about the saturated solubility. Then common ion effects and solubilizing agents. So these are the various conditions, these are the various factors which ultimately influences the solubility of any solute into the solvent. In my next session, we are going to further learn and discuss about the various solute solvent interaction mechanisms and ideal solubility parameters. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel Pharmacypedia for getting further updates.